Guys, and welcome to another episode of Game Chat. I'm Chris, and with me today we have Kate.
Hey.
We have Henry.
Hello.
And we have Grant.
Hello.
Who's dressed
The
as a
council's
Moogle.
meeting again.
I love it. Yeah, the Final Fantasy Council is meeting again to talk about Final Fantasy. Is it Intermission? This one? Is that what it's called?
Intergrade.
Intergrade / intermission. The DLC is intermission, I think. Yeah, it's really confusing. They have weird naming systems in these games.
You seen Kingdom Hearts?
Well, yeah.
This is par for the course.
That's true.
We don't have time to get into Kingdom Hearts.
No, we do not. No one does.
Don't do it. Don't do it, guys. If anyone's out there thinking, is it too late to get into Kingdom Hearts? Don't do it. It's not self-care.
I was gonna, and then these guys told me not to, and I was like,
I'm saying that as someone who's played every Kingdom Hearts game.
I'm on the other team, play Kingdom Hearts.
It's not self-care, guys. Don't do it.
But anyway, Final Fantasy. We'll start off with just going around the rooms saying like whether you enjoyed it and how long it took you. I'll start. It took me quite a long time. Because I was trying to get all the mini games down, doing them like 100%. It took me 10 hours overall, which most of the time was spent trying to do the last mini game, which I gave up with at the end because fuck that game. But overall, the box game, fuck that thing. Overall, I really enjoyed it. It was basically it was good to get back to because I really loved Final Fantasy VII Remake. So it's good to kind of get back to that world, and I really enjoyed it. Who will go next? We'll go Kate.
I think it took me about, I want to say between 6 and 7 hours. Because I remember finishing it and thinking, like, why did it take Chris like 10 hours? Like, that's so long. I did play the minigame. I didn't 100% it because I just wanted to know. Because, yeah, I've got a lot of feelings about this game. As someone who, like, I know Deditae Cerberus is not held in high esteem in the Final Fantasy community. Like, this DLC is wild. Like, they're planting seeds in this DLC that have got a very, very, very far off, like, payoff. And it's wild.
Or do they? Because you don't know whether they will. No,
I mean, you know, anyone who's played both of these games,
which I haven't, so yeah, you know, I ain't played later ones.
I enjoyed it. Full disclaimer, let's get honest up in here. I cannot stand YUFFIE. She is one of my most hated, not even Final Fantasy VII characters, just Final Fantasy characters in general. So I was not ecstatic that it was going to be a DLC about YUFFIE. I did enjoy it. I liked Sona and thought he was a good character. Didn't really feel the need for some of the other characters to be in it. Her little like avalanche squad, they were kind of just there.
Yeah.
It didn't make me like her. Like Aerith, I wasn't too keen on Aerith, but the remake made me appreciate her more. Didn't work with this character, but overall, like I really like the combat. So it's quite similar to Noct in 15.
Yeah. We're gonna get onto that in a bit anyway, because I want to talk about how it's similar to that. Henry, you want to go next?
Yeah. So I'd say I enjoyed it. I only spent about 4 hours on it because I just did not. I did a couple of like the Fort Condor stuff. I did the box mini game once or twice, but I didn't rinse it as such.
Yeah.
I did think the like especially in the second chapter, it dragged a bit. Like having to do all those trials, like not even rule of 3. It was like what 5, I think. And I wasn't so fond of that, but I liked they went for a rather different angle with it, and like you said, tying Dirge of Cerberus into Remake.
Wild. Absolutely wild.
It is crazy, but at the same time, it's like I never expected them to put that with YUFFIE. Yeah, I never saw that happen.
She's in Dirge of Cerberus, and so is Reeve. And
okay,
that's why I think, like, you know, they cut to him in the room with the president and Heidegger, and you're like, why are they showing this? Like, this, like, it's taken from the remake. I think it's the same scene.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was the same.
Yeah, it's the exact same scene.
Yeah.
I think it's literally because he's a big part of Dirge of Cerberus. Youth is a part of Dirge of Cerberus.
Okay, so I thought it was mostly Vincent. I didn't realise she was in it as well.
Unfortunately, she does show up. I'm there like, Vincent's got his own game. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And then, like,
no, it's Kate's worst character.
Great.
Great.
But no, overall, I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm not also not huge on her character, but I don't have active disdain for her either.
I do.
I know you do.
Me and Jake were like, of all the characters they could have chosen,
Grant?
Oh dear.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked Yuffie. I spent about 8 hours on it, 2 of which were Fort Condor at least.
I love Fort Condor.
I hope there's more Fort Condor. I want it to be like Gwent, where I'm going up to everyone like.
Make it its own mobile game, and I will play that.
It took me a while. Wedge, he was tough.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
But then Chadley went down like no one's business. Yeah, it was good. I think I completed all the mini games. The box one was hard, but there's like a little hidden bit right at the end. I was like, oh, there's my last 10 seconds.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the hidden bit at the start, but not at the end. Fair enough.
I think I finished it once with like 990. I was like, I was 10 points away, or 100 points away, or whatever. I was like, game why?
But I mean, generally, we'll start just generally by talking about gameplay. We'll start with gameplay because that's like the least spoilery bit, I guess. What do people think of the gameplay? I mean, who wants to go first? Kate, you want to go?
I really liked it. I like fast-paced sort of gameplay. I like the synergy stuff. That was good. Not too keen on, obviously, when you throw her main weapon, and then you got like the ninjutsu, I think it is.
The magic stuff.
Like spamming the magic. I'm not too keen on that. I like to focus more on using the weapon. But I do like the synergy bar. That was pretty cool. And her limit break was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it was super powerful.
She's very OP, to be fair.
Yeah.
Unless the boss uses a cutscene to counter it, I'm just like.
Yep, I hate that. That happened to me so many times in that last boss battle.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll talk about that a bit later. But
yeah,
that last boss battle there. Oof.
It's a bitch, that battle. I like the synergy stuff. I think that's really cool because obviously in the original remake, you can switch between all 3 characters that you take with you. But this obviously it's you can give them like commands and stuff, synergize, and he'll attack with you, stuff like that. I think working out how like when to synergize, when to not, and when to like use his attacks and stuff. I think that's really cool. I do think it was a bit stupid that when you like fall down and die as Yuffie.
Oh my goodness.
He basically sacrifices himself to bring you back to life, and I'm just like, you could just use the Phoenix Down that we've got like loads of them. You know what I mean? So because it's hassle to get him back to life and then bring his health back up so he doesn't die again, and it's a load of
I had that
hassle.
many times where the first thing I did was bring him back for him to instantly die again because I couldn't bring up enough ATB to then use pure. It's just like, thanks, Simon.
I mean, it's nice to have the kind of backup, so like when you die, that will keep you alive. But it's a bit annoying.
If it were me, I just simply wouldn't die. Personally,
I mean, there's that. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I played it on easy mode because I just wanted to cane it so we could talk about it.
Oh yeah,
so I never died. I died once, and it was my own fault. And other than that, I never use no potions because I just easy mode is just a walkover. And when you do synergy on easy mode, they just take it in turns to go like whoop 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 like that. I've got videos on my PlayStation. I thought it was hilarious. They just do that animation, jumping up and down, and I'm like, what are they even doing?
No, they do that normally.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know what's going on here.
It's like,
I'm just holding the button and I'm winning.
Yuffie attack, Sinon attack, Yuffie attack, Sinon attack. They just take it in turns. It did look a bit glitchy sometimes, I have to say.
And I don't know, it must affect Fort Condor as well because I never lost a match of Fort Condor either. So it must bring the difficulty of that down.
I only lost to Wedge. Yeah. It's the only person
I lost to Chadley once because I tried to use my Wedge technique. It just wasn't working on Chadley. So I was like, all right. I'm bringing the OP helicopters. And it's like,
legit, it's all about the helitroopers.
Henry, you were going to say something before I cut you off, sorry?
No, it's fine. I've said what I want to say, really.
Okay.
I don't have much else to add.
Fair enough.
I liked the balance of finding out like which magic and ninjutsu was the good one, but then it's just like there was that, but then also I think it's like wind sweep or whatever was just OP.
Yeah. I did use wind. Yeah, it was. Did anyone find it like weird to get back into the way the game plays? Like after a while, like it took me a little bit of time to kind of get back into knowing what moves to do and like what materia to put where and all that. Like I totally forgot. Because is it the blue materia you put? Which one? I can't remember what color it was. But
yeah, you put blue materia.
I totally forgot that, and I messaged you guys, and I was like, "How does this work again?" Because it doesn't retell you in the DLC.
I forgot about the dodge mechanic, so that was
I forgot how to block for ages, and then I realised I kept spamming buttons to find out what it was. I was like, "Oh yeah, block."
1 second. No, get down. She's gonna knock my PlayStation over.
Oh no!
She's trying to get in she's getting in my washing basket. Hang on, Leia. Stop. No. Oh my god. Hang on. Sorry. Leia, get out the washing basket.
It's because she's talking to us and not the cat.
That's it. Yeah, she wants the attention.
I hope it's not the cat that comes back after it's won.
It's just kill Kate.
It's only a matter of time.
Movement. Yeet. You're right now.
There's a problem, child. She wanted Vicky's. That's why she come up to cause trouble. So I'd follow her downstairs so she could get Vicky's. Little bitch. Sorry, carry on.
Where were we now? I forgot. We got distracted by the cat. I mean, anything else gameplay-wise people want to bring up, discuss?
Not really. There wasn't that. I think we've covered all any new changes. There wasn't that much more different. Otherwise, beyond that.
Yeah.
I feel like it could have utilized the PS5 a bit more.
Yeah.
Well, yep.
That's Sony saying you're talking shit.
I liked it when the Happy Turtle jingle played out my controller. That was nice.
See, I didn't have that because I was using a headset, so I didn't get any of that. But
I feel like they could have done more with like the reactive triggers or whatever.
Yeah.
When I'm like throwing the shuriken, I thought that would have been nice. But...
I was just gonna say there's a thing with third parties where like you're doing like the cross gen stuff and they barely used the triggers.
Yeah. But it's not cross. Well, it is cross. No, it's not though because the DLC.
Well, the DLC isn't.
So like you'd think they would have made it. But that's a point I was going to bring up actually. I don't see how this couldn't run on PS4. Like the DLC. So like why?
It's all about money.
Yeah, I know that, but like that doesn't help Square, surely.
Final Fantasy VII is a big deal.
Because like,
anything that's going to push people to buy a PlayStation.
You can't buy one. Yeah. You can't buy one anyway.
Well, that's the other thing, yeah.
It's a good job that we all had one, else this would have been well.
Legit. Like, I know there's a lot of people that want to play it. Like, Alexis is one of them. He wants to play it, but he can't because he can't get a PS5, which sucks.
Did 7 Remake ever come out on Xbox?
No, but he's got it on PS4.
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
No, it didn't yet. It's supposed to. No, there's rumours that it's going to come soon because it's going to come to Epic Games Store on PC. Apparently,
there is also a thing of when they put out a trailer, they said it would be exclusive for 6 months on PS5. So that would put it in December time, where they could release other versions.
I do wonder if they're going to bring it to PS4 because I don't see why not. There's no reason why they couldn't.
I don't think they will at this point. I feel like if they were, they would have already done it. It would still be exclusive, but
yeah.
It's annoying. I mean, it's fine for us. We've got one, but it's just like harsh for all the people that can't play it.
Yeah, this is true.
Yuffie was optional in the original game. Now she's optional in real life, depending on how much you want to pay.
I don't know how easy or hard it was to miss Yuffie, but I imagine you going out of your way to make sure she never joined your party.
Without too much spoilers, I guess. But she's going to join the party.
I did take her along. Because obviously at that point I didn't know that I had this deep sustain for her. Because when you get out of the city, you meet her like almost immediately. The only one it's possible like really to miss is Vincent. Because to find him you have to solve like a puzzle.
Right.
Youth is kind of optional in the sense that you can be like, no. But Vincent's like completely. If you're not sort of paying attention or whatever, you can completely miss him.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask sort of how long after like remake or whatever would Yuffie join the party? What's that?
It's not that long.
Get outside of the city, and she's there like, oh, I'm a materia hunter. Like, oh, materia. You're like, shut up.
Because it's random encounters. You can find most places.
Like a forest, I think it is.
Yeah.
Like a forest area.
As long as there's a forest, yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So I imagine she won't be optional.
No, I don't think. I think because of how they're trying to like how they made one game 2 hours worth of the original. Like I think they'll try and fit as much in as possible, so they'll make it like non-optional. Which is probably a good thing to do.
Do you think they'll bring a lot of the spin-offs all into the main canon?
Yes.
I think that's
well, they're already doing that by this.
I think they'll kind of forget the timeline and they'll just kind of bring all the story in and kind of
make it one big story.
Compact it in. Dirge of Cerberus has a lot of stuff that people don't like and a lot of characters that could be easily cut and streamlined for this new canon.
To be fair, for those who want exactly like the original, there's Ever Crisis coming out. Now,
what is that?
It's a mobile game, but they're basically recreating the original Final Fantasy VII and other elements of compilation.
Okay.
So it sounds like they're gonna put in stuff like Advent Children, Cerberus, and all that as well, which is cool.
Cool. Because that'll be like 15 Pocket Edition, isn't it? With that weird Funko Poppy graphics.
But it looks like it plays more like the actual original Final Fantasy VII.
That's cool.
Which is interesting. Yeah.
That is cool.
So I have to see how that goes.
Before we go into like story spoilers, I mean, do you want to have a quick talk about Fort Condor, Grant? I know you loved it that much.
I love Fort Condor.
It was good.
It is fun. Like
very good.
Like they can make a whole game out of that itself. I think. Like
I definitely want to see it appear more. I didn't like how it was just like I can clearly see who I'm going to be playing.
Yeah.
We've got the boards next to them. It's just like let me carry the board around. But I also liked it was like the characters we'd met.
Yeah.
Like, it's the middle manager and the girl who wasn't Yuffie who was shouting or whatever. We're just like, okay, we know these people.
And Roach. Good old Roach.
Why was he there? What is going on with this guy?
He's obsessed with Cloud because you go past him and he's like waiting for him and like shouting out, saying like waiting for him to get there, and it's just like,
doesn't even know his name.
Calm down, Roach.
Roach is like all the fangirls and fanboys like incarnate.
It is funny though, like where like it is cool going around that first area where it's like the little like village place where they all lived, and it's like it's weird, but even though we played it a year ago ish, it's like the original. It's like it's nostalgic for a game that we played a year ago. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with Chris last year was a very long year.
It was a very long year. That's true. But like going back, seeing like I got really excited when I saw like Jesse. Biggs and Wedge and all that, just chatting and stuff. I thought that was so cool. It was really cool, like seeing all the different characters, even Chadley, even though I hate him. But like seeing Roach and stuff, like really cool, really fun. And I think the side missions that they do in that area, I think they're a lot better than some of the side missions you had in the remake, the original remake.
I'm not too sure. I also felt like it wasn't very well paced. I felt like I did all the side mission stuff, then I did the story, and whereas I don't know, I feel it could have been like split up better because whilst I was doing like the story bit running around, I was like picking up stuff for Fort Condor, but I was like, but I've done Fort Condor because I didn't think I'd be coming back here.
Yeah, that's true. But like what going around picking up all the Happy Turtle like stuff like that is very side stuff, you know what I mean?
Just
like
wasn't interested.
Yeah, like I like the Happy Turtle tune. that was cool.
But when they started playing that metal remix.
That's my favourite. Yeah.
But like some of the things where you had to go follow the cats to get it off the cats, and you had to pick the right cat who had the right leaflet and shit. It was just like, this is very side stuff that didn't necessarily need to be done.
That is just a like, what's the word, like in those type of games,
Yeah, it's
that's
common.
just what happens. Yeah, like it's a
Chapter 1, find cat.
Yeah.
Chapter 9, kill God.
Kill God. Exactly, yeah. And you were saying like you have to learn which magic goes with which enemy. Like for us three weebs, Chris, that's ingrained. You play any like anime game, you know exactly what's going on.
I knew
You're
too.
just not weeb enough yet, Chris.
It's clearly, yeah.
I was still using my SS materia all the time. Like
I never use that. Use that. Oh, I put it in. I thought it was a waste of thing because I never used it. But yeah, like
I feel like I had so many potions like throughout the entire game.
I never used the potions.
The only ones I use.
The swing of using it between combat. I was like, this is what I'm meant to do. But just like, I think I left the first chapter with like 40 high potions.
Yeah.
I never use them.
I used them. I saved them all. I never used them, and then I used them in the last boss fight quite a lot.
Just keep spamming cure.
See, I didn't get that. I didn't get any magic for cure. And it was like, oh, maybe I made a mistake here.
There's materia everywhere in this.
I know.
She's a materia hunter.
She is a materia. That's true. It makes sense for the story. She is a materia hunter,
don't we know?
And she doesn't shut up about it. Now, I was gonna say, like, what do people think of the characters? Like, obviously, Kate's got a great disdain for Yuffie. I mean, do you want to get yours out of the way with your hate for Yuffie, Kate? Like, did you think she was any better in this than the original at all? Or was she more annoying?
The die was cast a long time ago. Yeah, she's more annoying in this one because I have to listen to her in this one. Where in the old one, it was just reading, but now I have to listen to that voice. Like, I get the kind of character she is. Like, you know,
she's the anti-Cloud.
Anime games, everyone falls into anime trope. She is that anime trope, right?
The too happy one?
I feel like, without going into spoilers, like her story, it's quite like a personal story to her. What happens in Wutai? I feel like how it sort of ends and what she. I mean, it's not a spoiler, right? Because if you've played this, you've obviously played the game. You know the Turks drop the plate.
Yeah.
So she gets to like. I loved seeing that from above as well. That was really cool. Like she gets to see it drop from above. And she's got like the anime scream, like the 10-minute like Vegeta scream. Like, yeah, I feel like they're gonna make her a bit more. What's the word? Like they're gonna give her a bit more. She's not just gonna be like
a bit more to do.
They're gonna. I think they'll do a deeper dive into her story and they'll give her a bit more backstory on why she kind of is like she is.
Well, it's clearly. Well, obviously you probably know this, but it's clearly something to do with her dad. She hates her dad.
I was getting. She's got daddy issue vibes.
She's got bad vibes with him from the sounds of it, because every time Sonam brings him up, she's like telling him to shut up or
he's drunk
moaning.
and in prison. I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
He also was a ninja master. I'm not sure what's going on.
But it's interesting to kind of like lay in the ground for obviously something that's going to come later, revelation-wise, about her dad or whatever. But
I liked Sonam, but he was a bit like he was just there. I like him. I feel like, you know, like before you actually see him, and they're like, oh, he's doing this and he's doing that, and he arrived 3 days ago, and you're like, oh, is he going to be like super cool? And he kind of gets there, and he's like, yeah, then so let's go. And there's not real much, like, he's got like a tragic anime backstory, like, yeah, so is every like hot anime man, like, you know, special Sona, and that's just standard. Like, I feel like I think we will see him again.
Well, we'll get into that when we get into the big story spoilers.
He was giving me like real tutorial waifu kind of vibes. It's just kind of like, I'm here to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
See you later.
And their little faction of Avalanche.
Yeah, the other 3 or 4 characters seemed very pointless. Like, they were just there.
There was the blonde guy, and then there was the girl. It was like, I've liked that. It was like, okay, we're getting that. Oh, there's the Splinter Cell, and here's actual Avalanche. It was nice to see that, but then just kind of like, there was 4 of them, and they just didn't
underutilized.
Do anything. It served the plot purpose of getting them over there. That didn't do much more. That was the main draw.
Were them when you stand in that room with them 3. That is, like you say, like that's tutorial. It's like, this is how you play Foot Condor. This is who you need to speak to. This is where you need to go.
Yeah, like one of them.
Gave it a base.
Yeah, the woman where I walked around with you a bit. And then the Fort Condor one. What did the one in the middle do? Like the one with the long hair? I don't even know what he did.
Is he called Billy?
Yeah, Billy Bob.
One of
something.
them is called Billy Bob. I couldn't tell you which is which.
Obviously The one that had a name that didn't look anything like his actual name. Is it Gigi or something? That didn't look anything like what was written on the subtitle.
Like a twist that he was also Wu Tai-in because he's got that sort of
kind
of name.
I didn't trust him. He looked shifty to me.
I thought he was going to be a bad guy.
He looked shifty, but maybe he just
going to be a Shinra plant.
Yeah, but because it was
like they do more with him. Yeah, but he was just kind of
because it was
ran away. It was like, but here's the thing: I did what I was doing, and I see you later. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
There was a.
Oh no, I can't say that now.
There was a lot of that in this game where it was just like, here's a thing to move the plot.
No, actually, it's not spoiler. It's not spoiler because we've just literally said it. When you catch up to him and it's like, the Turks are going to drop the plate, and Sonen and Yuffie are like,
cool.
Yeah, cool, sorted, bye. And it's like, they're going to murder like a lot of people, and they're just like, not
here for materia.
I feel like Yuffie didn't understand what Midgar was.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But she kind of got there and thought, like, well, I thought this was like the splendid city of Marco. What's going on here? It's like, clearly you're underneath.
Yeah.
And then she was like, they're going to drop the plate. And it's like, I don't really know what that means until it happened.
Maybe.
Yeah, if you don't live in that city,
I suppose you don't know the inner workings of how it works. Yeah.
Like you come from a place which have just been warred with actively. You're not gonna know the ins and outs.
Yeah, true.
You can have like a perception in your mind of what it actually is. Like everyone's like Shinra, all that, and it's just not how it is. But that's how they'll see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, with Yuffie, I hated her at the start because she was just so over the top and just so happy all the time, and it was really annoying. And it's like I kind of did like how Sonen was kind of just there, like just like that, just like, for fuck's sake. You can tell even he was getting annoyed by how happy she was and stuff. But like, I did kind of like that dynamic between them, like how he was just like, for fuck's sake, here we go again, kind of thing. But like, she got better as it went on, as the story kind of got more serious. I thought she kind of got a little bit more...
you get desensitized?
Yeah, maybe it is that, but like I feel like I didn't hate her as much. I still hate her, and I still think she's annoying. And I think I do like how she's like the opposite of Cloud, where Cloud's a miserable git, and she's like really super happy, and it's literally the opposite. But I do question some. How old is she, by the way? Like 16?
17.
I question her attire.
Not old enough to drink.
She's like, I mean, you look at what she's wearing, and the fucking shorts are undone. It's just like, why? Why are they undone? It's weird.
And her and Sona were like a bit too close.
Yeah.
I was like, what's happening here? Like,
it is a bit weird.
When he like pushes her up against the wall, and I was like, what's happening?
I suppose that was protective because for reasons, but yeah, it is a bit dodgy sometimes. And I like, and how when the because she really wants to be treated like an adult. That's like a whole thing for her, in it, where she hates being called a kid, and she's always trying to prove herself, I guess. And I guess that's why she's so enthusiastic about everything.
Yeah.
But
controversially, I liked Yuffie. I thought she was good.
Fair enough.
Because everyone is just sort of like
miserable,
moody and brooding, and like it's just nice to have a bit of fresh air. And it's just like, oh yeah, she's fun. Like even in like the Shinra building, running around and stuff, she's just like, yeah, I'm having a good time, looking for materia and all that. Like, it was nice. But like, not everyone is miserable. Like,
she hasn't spent that long. She hasn't lived in that city. Like, that's why everyone who lives in that city is miserable, apparently.
Can you blame them?
True, very true. I mean, so we just dive deep into the story spoilers now, because like it's really hard. It's really hard to it's really hard to talk about what happens and stuff without doing that. So spoiler warning for everybody now. Like we're diving into deep spoilers. So go away if you haven't finished the game. Right,
Alexis, that means you.
Yeah. Right. Let's jump right in. I mean, where do we want to start? I mean,
can we talk about that boss fight?
I mean, we can, I guess. I mean, we'll talk about the whole, like, him just turning up. Like, he's a Dirge of Cerberus character.
Wild.
My guess is.
I came home from work and I went to sleep. And I woke up and Chris is there and he's fighting Nero. And I'm like,
oh, yeah.
What? And I'm like, Chris, who's that? And he's like, oh, is this bad guy? Like, why do you know him? And I'm like, nah. went back to sleep, woke up the next morning. I'm like, Chris, how long did it take you to fight this guy? And Chris is like, I was playing it till 3 o'clock in the morning and I still didn't beat him. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
It was tough.
It was the worst. Like, I feel like everything I got, like, every fight I did up to that point, I found really easy. And then I got to him and it was just like, none of my tactics were working. Or if they were, he did some mad shit and just completely, like, destroyed me. And I was just like, oh, like he had this one move that just sucked all the life out of one of your characters.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this sucks because like I have to like get my ATB bar up to bring them back if it's because he takes Sonnen out most of the time first, and then it's really hard to get his health up before he does it again. And you're just like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Yeah, it definitely was a difficulty spike, and I was really annoyed because was it not Ramu, whatever it's however you say his name?
Which one?
The summon.
Oh, no, what's his name? The wizard dude with the lightning.
Something like Ramu, but Ramu's that.
Ramut, yeah.
Yeah. Because like I summoned him out, I was like, I was too busy using Cure all the time, so I didn't do any of his stuff. But it's like, all right, I'm going to do my big move, and then Nero's like, cool. I'm not going to take any damage from it though, because there's these damage thresholds. So it's like you've just done your big powerful move, and now I'm just going to use a cutscene on you. It's just like, thanks.
Great.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I get the boss battles in phases, but I didn't like that all the phases were unskippable cutscenes. It's like those poor scientists.
Oh yeah, like the first one before the fight, you could skip.
Yeah,
and then you get when it's like cutscenes in between, you're just like, well, I want to skip these, but I can't, and that's why it took me. That's why, like Kate was like, you still didn't beat it because it took me that long between with all the fucking cutscenes that. It got me to 3 o'clock in the morning. I was like, nope, I'm going to bed. Fuck this guy.
I got lucky. Literally, Yuffie was unconscious as Sonnen delivered the final blow with his limit break, and I was just like, oh, thank God. Because he's in the middle of his limit break and cannot bring me back.
I was on easy mode, so I beat him first time. Sorry, guys.
You don't know the pain.
I don't, and I choose not to because I have a very busy job and I do not have a lot of time, and it's not self-care.
Maybe I should. Yeah, I did think about putting it down to easy because that fight was pissing me off, but I didn't, and I did it. I was so happy when I beat it. It was like beating the Dark Souls boss. I was like, yes. But yeah, I mean,
Nero was more satisfying than beating Chaos. Chaos.
Oh, don't get me started on that game.
You say that, right? See, everyone is hating on this new Dark Souls Final Fantasy, and they're like, oh, it's all about chaos. It's like, wait till 7's finished, and wait till we see what happens with the Dirge Cerberus stuff, and then reevaluate the use of chaos, because chaos is heavily involved in Dirge Cerberus. Spoiler alert. So everyone needs to calm their expectations.
It's not that Chaos is allowed to be the main character, but it
doesn't need to be said 20 times.
Every other word.
Yes, legit.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to? Can we talk about him without spoiling anything future, Kate? Like, is it possible? Like Nero and all that, and
yeah, I don't know what's going on.
See, I don't know. It's hard for me. Like all I know, he's got weird purple powers. And he's fucked up in some way, and they've experimented on him, and that's all I know. Like,
and his brothers with Weiss, who just kind of got that Silver the Hedgehog hair and just kind of go sit there and I didn't go back and fight Weiss.
That is the like him sitting in that chair, like Shinra gonna upload me to the cloud. Yeah, sick one. That is like. That is for something that's so far away. Like that is something that pays off in the Dirge Cerberus story, but the Dirge Cerberus story takes part, like, so you have 7, then you have Advent Children, then Dirge Cerberus comes after that. So this is something that's so far off, and I was like, what?
They've got to be bringing it forward, right?
This is what makes me think they're gonna kind of get all the parts from Silo Dirge Cerberus and potentially Crisis Core now, maybe.
Oh yeah,
maybe.
And they're gonna sprinkle it. Not like I'm not saying it's going to be the same, but I think they'll take the core parts and the core pieces of story relating to the characters that actually matter, and we'll get rid of all the Dirge Cerberus is not a well-liked game.
It's a shooter in it.
Characters that doesn't.
From what I've heard, is it a shooter?
Right.
Yeah.
You thought that was a good idea?
Me, because it's got my mans in it, and I like some shooting.
But it's also got Yuffie, so you know.
It's very strong Shadow the Hedgehog energy.
Oh no.
It really
Edgy.
is. But Shadow the Hedgehog is my favourite hedgehog, so you know,
No.
it's who I am as a
That
person.
explains a lot.
Yeah.
I think the Crisis Core stuff. I don't think we'll get to play it as.
See, that's the Zack stuff. So see, I have a theory about that. Obviously, there's a whole scene at the end with this because this DLC does a Lord of the Rings: Return of the King where it has like 5 different endings, which is ridiculous. It just keeps going and going and going. It's got one of them's a Zack ending, and it's him going in and he's going back to see Aerith, and it turns out she's not there, and shit's happened. So like, the Crisis Core stuff. Is that in the future? Is that really far in the future, or is that in the past?
That's in the past.
Past, right? So that makes me think. See, I think there's a possibility that we might get some sort of Zack DLC before we even get part 2.
That is controversial, and I like it.
I'd be happy with that. I mean, if it makes part 2, I mean, it's going to take long for them to do anyway. But like, I don't mind getting bits in between to kind of like tide us over until we get part 2.
Yeah, because I guess the Yuffie DLC makes sense because they've got all the assets because they just plopped her in Sector 7 and like Shinra building is just copy paste from.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was the new locations and stuff, but it's that same vein, the same style. So it's not.
And that's where Zack's gone now. So that's like it uses the same place.
But there's a section that will be coming up that's like one giant long expedition dump. It is the place where they mention where they're like, oh, how long is it till? Is it calm?
Calm.
And Barrett's like, oh yeah, like 2 days, blah blah blah. Like you get there in the original, and it's like, yeah, you get like bombarded. Like, okay, there, this happened. That could
be the DLC.
That anyway. They could then use that set of assets to maybe tell a bit of Crisis Core.
See, I reckon that if they did the DLC for him, they'll do whatever he's doing in the city, which I forget, it's Midgar. If whatever he's doing in there with flashbacks to whatever that happened in Crisis Core, maybe.
I don't think he's going to be doing a lot. I think he'll get there and people will be like, Aerith's not.
I don't know. I think he'll want to help because obviously shit's happened, and I kind of like they've done stuff, but they've left now. So it's like, maybe you want to help out do something. Maybe
you could always go back to Gongaga because that's his hometown. Gongaga.
I don't know what that means.
Oh my god.
Well, that's where he comes from.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Also, there's the question of. Do they?
I can barely remember it. It shows up in 7, but
yeah, you go there in 7, and it's like a wrecked town now, and everyone's all sad.
But it's like his parents are there, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's going to be interesting.
That's what I think.
There will be more Crisis Core. I don't know if maybe they'll release like a Crisis Core because there's that random guard in the 7 remake who's like, "Hey, don't shoot this guy. That's Cloud. We're bros. Remember me?" And Cloud's like, "No." It's like, "Oh, okay."
No.
But then there's the whole thing with Zack. Like, is he even in the same timeline as him now? Like, it's weird because it didn't seem like he was at the end of the last one. Obviously, they've gone through the portal now.
Different.
Yeah, so they've gone through the portal now. So does that mean they're in the same timeline as him?
Did they go through? Oh, I thought they went through the portal, did the Sephiroth thing, and then they came back to where
I think they came back, did they? I don't know. It's confusing. I didn't think they'd come back.
They were walking, because Yuffie takes place in the same timeline, because she starts off seeing all the creepy reunion people.
True. It's confusing now. I mean, confusing generally, but like just even more now.
That's why you don't fuck with time travel.
Legit.
In established canon. But that's
interesting.
We just don't know. That's
yeah. I mean, I guess we won't find out until we find out, until they meet or whatever. Yeah, probably not. No.
He doesn't know anything.
Oh.
He doesn't know. He doesn't plan. This is what we're in the situation where we're Kingdom Hearts.
What are you talking about?
Like-
Kingdom Hearts is a one complete journey. That makes sense.
They
It's
make a
just-
spin-off to solve, like they make a spin-off to solve a plot hole, and then make 10 more plot holes in that spin-off, and then have to make another spin-off, and it's just a vicious circle. And this is why there's about 10,000 Kingdom
Spin-offs
Hearts
to fix
games.
plot holes is never a good
The
thing.
rhythm game is canon.
Yes, it is, and rightly so.
It's difficult just to pick points to talk about within this because there's so much just like random stuff.
I feel like we talk about, Soden.
Like, do we
He's
think
coming
he's
back.
like
He is coming back
dead-
100%.
dead?
Is he gonna come back as Nero? Was Nero's body destroyed, and now Nero's gonna come back as Soden, and that's gonna be a whole thing? That was the vibe.
That'd be
I was
interesting.
getting.
I thought he just absorbed him. Oh no, is there spoilers for this? Like, but it can't be because Sonnen doesn't exist beforehand.
No, but in Down to Cerberus, there is a character. I want to say her name's like Shelk or something. She's like a little weird girl who like vibes with like tech, and
Right.
Nero kind of like takes her into that like darkness,
Hmm.
and then Vincent goes in and he gets her back. So like maybe just put Sonnen in like a little pocket, and Sonen's just in there chilling, and he'll come back.
See, I mean, I figured when when he was killing all the guards, he was kind of like absorbing their energy or whatever.
Yeah,
so like, was he
be able
doing
to
that
break
to
free from his-
Sonnen to get more powerful?
Whatever.
Maybe, like, or when he absorbs them, do they stay in there in his head or even sit inside him somehow? Like, is he still alive inside him somewhere? Like, it's weird. Like, I don't know how it
It's
works.
definitely unclear.
Yeah, because he just kind of like grabs him and pulls him in, and that's all you see, and it's like, huh.
And it's a lot of effort to go through to make this character who is, I guess he's not a playable character, but he's there, and then just kind of yeet him off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like, like he kind of like, because his plot line is like the whole thing he wants. He failed to save his sister, so it's like he's trying to help Yuffie, and he sees her as his sister, even though she absolutely hates that. But I guess he kind of saved her, and that's his kind of like role done, maybe.
But it also feels like they've come up with this whole new synergy mechanic for our DLC.
For nothing, then.
Yeah, because I can imagine in part 2 that it's going to go back to what it was, unless you can do both, maybe.
The characters, because they've got all.
Unless it allows you to do both.
Well,
they
we
might have
haven't.
segments where you're just on your ones or with someone, maybe a bit like Red 13, but better.
Yeah, I can see Red 13 being a synergy character, actually.
Henry, do you think that Red and Catesith, however you say it, do you think they will stay like what they kind of are, like you don't have no control over them?
I believe it might. I think they'll be playable.
You think?
Yeah, well, as playable as like the others are, because essentially you're just controlling Cloud, aren't you? But like directly giving them the orders and such. Yeah,
I might be able to switch between them, because I feel like lots of people were disappointed when they said Red wasn't, and so
yeah,
even if he wasn't planned, they might go back and be like, "Ah,
it's because he was before." That's the thing. Yeah, they all were.
Yeah,
they could all be played as before.
But it's a bit easier when it's turn-based, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but that's just the fact that that option did exist before.
I wouldn't be surprised if they made the synergy ones just so they can keep the synergy thing in it as well as.
We've got 4 more characters to get yet.
Switching, because like obviously you're going to grow your party as you go on. So like, is it only ever going to be you can go around with 3 people fighting? You know what I mean? You can only have a whole 3 people. Are they going to add more? Do you reckon? Because like that's
did it in Remake to be like, they're never all here at the same time.
But like, how are they going to do that when the party just keeps growing and growing? Unless they bring them in as synergy characters where you're not playing as all of them, you just pick 3.
But I'm never not going to have no one but Tifa and Vincent.
But that's what but like, yeah. So maybe I don't know. It's going to be a strange one.
Black hair, they're in. Unless they're Yuffie.
Unless they're Yuffie.
Like I said, I know what I'm about. Yeah, Yuffie's not allowed in.
I did kind of like how they dealt with like what's her name, the blonde lady.
Scarlet.
Yeah, like and
Give
how
her a bit more backstory.
yeah, given like because like I feel like in the original 7 remake, it's weird calling it original 7 remake. Anyway, in 7 remake, like you had some of these like bosses of Shinra who didn't really do much. Like she was one of them, but like obviously she was more heavily involved in this, and obviously that's what she was doing while everything else was going on. I think that was really interesting. It's fleshing her character out a bit more because I really like the idea of all the Shinra bosses. I mean, obviously that's I don't think
to Shinra and they have the wall and they look like Pokemon trainers because they've got like the little
They do.
badges underneath them. I love that. I thought that was amazing.
I would play that.
Same, to be fair.
But I'm glad they fleshed her out. I thought they were going to flesh like Reeve. Was it Reeve? The one you like,
Yeah.
Kate?
Yeah.
There's time for our mans to grow, Chris.
Yeah, because like obviously Kate was saying he was heavily involved with some of that other stuff. Like, but I thought he would come into it more.
Don't you worry about that for now.
Is he gonna? He'll come in.
Chris, it's nothing for you to worry about
Okay,
as of yet.
right. Okay.
Because there's also
Chris is
when
the
they
worst.
upload Weiss, Chadley just kind of there.
Yeah.
She's saying that Chadley's the big bad. Is that what you're saying?
Oh,
Yes.
Chad is the
I didn't
worst.
say that. However,
Chadley is Sephiroth. Is that what
I've
you're
got
saying?
white hair. Just saying.
It all adds up, guys.
Well, should we talk about him bringing Vice back? Like, did anyone try the fight?
No.
No.
I'm the only one. Yeah, it's hard. You can only do it on hard mode, which sucks. But I went back to the chapter, tried to do it on hard mode, and he killed me in all 3 of like the characters I took in 15 seconds. I was like, well,
This is why
I'm not doing this.
To be fair, Chris, he is Shimra's top soldier.
Yeah. No, he is
Like,
a badass.
Like, his jam.
When you say he's a top soldier, is he a soldier?
He's Shinra's top soldier. Yo! He's one of them. He's one of them things. He's their top soldier.
Okay.
Soldier boy, crank it.
Yeah, you would have seen the Mako eyes if he was.
Yeah, true. But yeah, don't bother fighting him. I mean, I don't think it's too hard. It's too hard. I mean,
I felt like old Captain America when they ended up thinking, was like, oh, you can go back to this chapter and fight the super boss White. I'm like, no.
that is weird though. Having a thing where you can go back into a game you've already played and fight him. It's strange because, like, obviously that didn't happen in the original timeline. Now it's confusing. It is weird.
It's just optional anyway. You just
I guess.
Because they want them on PS5.
Yeah.
maybe
You've
the PS4
upgraded.
can't contain his hair.
Maybe he does have a lot of hair.
So he won't be even in the PlayStation 4 version? Oh, damn.
You'd assume not,
No.
because you have to be.
You have to do the DLC
Yeah,
to
you have to
get
beat the
him,
DLC to get him.
Damn.
But then again, I mean, I suppose that's why they made him a hologram in a virtual thing, because obviously the real Vice is going to turn up later on.
And they just kind of uploaded him to the Shinra cloud.
Yeah.
He's just kind of chilling in the basement.
Yeah, it is a bit weird. There's a lot of this game. It's confusing.
Could just be a timed exclusive, but yeah, it's a bit.
I want to elaborate on the point
strange.
I just made, because it just sounded like I called Chris the worst with no context.
You've kind of like crashed there, Kate. Get back.
It's Chris's power, because you called him the worst.
No, I was going to say Chris is the worst because Chris sits there and he's like, but like, why does this happen and who's this and who's that? But don't tell me though. And I'm like, what do you want to know or not? It's like, yeah, but what's with the cat thing? Why does this happen?
Why does the cat have a cape?
And I'm like, I can tell you. Do you want to know? And he's like, no, don't tell me, don't tell me. And I'm like,
No, yeah, I'm just like expressing my thoughts out loud.
You'll find out when you find out.
20 years down the line.
Yeah. Whenever they decide to like grace us with the next one.
Is there anything
I'm
else?
really hoping the Battle Royale mobile game isn't canon.
Oh, I forgot that was a thing. Why do they do this?
Square.
Yeah, I know.
Legit, exactly, yeah.
I know. I asked the question, why do they do this? But I know why. It's money and Square.
Uh,
But I'm worried they'll be like, if you reach level 50, we'll give you some Final Fantasy remake story. I'll just be like, where's
at that
my
point,
phone?
I'll be like, right, I'm going to YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be
Someone
fair.
else can do it.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
definitely interesting. It's definitely like it gives you that tease of the next one.
Yeah, I do like the fact that the ending.
Far off is the next one.
I mean, that's what we wanted. We wanted the end. We were all like wanting to get to the end, hoping to get that tease for part 2, and we kind of did. So
we
it was
got
worth
a
it.
tease, but we didn't get a release date.
No.
But we can exclusively on Game Talk tell you now the release date of part 2. Chris, take it away.
Never.
Never.
When do you reckon? Do you think next year, the year after?
23. I'm betting on there.
That's what I think it'll be.
My theory is we get the Dark DLC that I think is going to happen next year, and then it's the year after, so 2023.
When are we expecting 16?
I reckon next year.
Yeah, I reckon it's sooner
I
than
couldn't
we
remember
think.
if they'd announced like a thing.
It does have a release date, I'm pretty sure.
Doesn't.
it
Well, no, it had a.
I think Origin
Was it-
does, but I don't think that does.
Origin
When's that out?
delayed.
When's Origin out? I don't. Yeah, it's next year, isn't it? 2022. I don't. Yeah, I can't see that game. If that game comes out how it is, it's gonna be terrible.
It's gonna be chaos. Yeah.
I didn't even play I didn't even play the demo.
It's not.
so
You know what?
not for me.
Some of it's okay, but it's just like it needs a lot of polish.
They only said 2022 for Origin.
Yeah, it's fine. Like I enjoyed it until I got to the boss battle and it was like, here's
Yeah.
everything we told you now no longer applies. Good luck.
Yeah, the gameplay's good. You can see the vibes they're going for. It seemed very Bloodborne vibe. I got, but like, yeah, it's just very. The combat's very complicated, and magic's super OP. And
But magic's also really awkward. Like I didn't
Yeah.
use it at all until the boss
Yeah.
fight, and so I just kind of got lucky because I was at one end of the arena and he was at the other one. He was like, "I'm going to do the move where I just slowly walk towards you." I was like, "Good, spam
Yeah.
thunder, let's go."
yeah, but if that game's coming out next year, it needs a massive graphical overhaul because it just looks terrible. It looks like it's a 720p game.
Fine,
I didn't.
it looked fine. Like
did-
it wasn't anything to write home about, but it was a game.
Grant, Chris is an absolute like.
It looked
snob.
blurry on my TV. That's how bad it was. It's weird. And it just needs polishing with the gameplay. Could be
Yeah,
good.
the AI needs
Well, I
changing.
mean, for Origin. Is that for Origin?
Yeah, for Origin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, it is a demo year
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
So,
Hopefully,
It
definitely gets
felt
that
really
polish.
jarring going from the perfect gameplay that is 7.
Yes, because
like,
that's what I did. I played 7, remake the DLC, and then went straight to this, and I was like, "Oh no, this is nowhere near the same."
and it's slow, and it's like, I get it's that Soulsborne thing, but it's just like I feel like if they don't do 16 the way they've done 7, they're missing trick because they've just
Yeah,
nailed it with that real time and the command menu. I think it's just
Yeah.
the perfect synergy. Because
yeah,
Yuffie does, like we
Synergy.
said, Yuffie does play like Noctis, where she can go into the air.
yeah. With
really
his throws his sword and then teleports, kind of thing.
That.
Yeah,
I love
But then
that.
it's a lot more less messy than 15, which is just like here is one button, go nuts.
yeah, literally. I think I'm looking forward to 16 because I like from the looks of it, 'cause it seems to have that more fantasy vibe.
Yeah.
That I
Whereas
really,
15 was very that pseudo modern.
Yeah.
Back to that high fantasy.
yeah, which I'm hyped for because
But
I like
we've
that in
paid the
general
price
anyway.
Because Origin's gone pseudo modern and it's weird. It's just like Jake in my jeans and t-shirt gonna kill chaos.
Oh god.
But I think
He looks so much like Core as well. When like
No, he
they showed
does,
the
he
trailer at
does.
E3 and it just is his face, I was like, Core? This is the Final Fantasy 15 spin-off? And then they were like,
the weird thing is though, like the two characters with him look way better than him. So it's like it makes me think: are you going to be able to create your own character, and this is just a blank canvas?
Oh, that would be good.
So I don't know.
But I'm
Interesting.
also looking forward to the best armor set in the game being what the original Final Fantasy 1 Warrior of Light looked at. But it's also going to be in that really like dark, edgy style.
Hmm.
oh, I love the Warrior of Light. I can't believe they're doing the dirty to this. I get like like the time loop and all that. It's a time loop with one, right?
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
It kind
You
of
don't-
makes sense, but
Go into a castle and it's like, I'm going to kill the chaos. It's like, well, I'm Garland and I'm also maybe chaos. But when you fight me as a boss battle, even though you've said my name, I'm going to come up with question mark, question mark, question mark.
and apparently they're adapting 9 to be an anime. Or
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
show.
as a kids show, yeah, don't have to be
Interesting. But isn't like I heard wasn't 9? Doesn't 9 have a very dark
9 is very dark.
story?
It's very
How's
dark
that going to
topic.
be a kid show?
And
But
then,
it's
like-
also got that really like kiddie style, isn't it?
Yeah,
Hmm.
we'll see. We'll see how they adapt it.
I'm looking forward to that because I never played 9, obviously. So I'll just consume it as an anime.
Remake 15 and Type 0.
Mm.
Oh, and Crystal Bear is on the Wii, where you fling the enemies with the Wii remote. Remake Crystal Bear as when.
Oh god, I tried that again recently. It's not a good game.
It's such a good game.
It's not a good game. Lale sucks.
I love how Final Fantasy you can go from one end of the spectrum where it's like amazing game to absolutely terrible game, and then you've got everything in between. Like it's mad.
Buy them all.
Yeah, and then exactly. You get those Final Fantasy fans that will literally buy them all. It's crazy how like it's just a series that's just like you got some of the most amazing games ever, and then just some of the worst, and it's just everything in between. It's just like it's crazy. Interesting though.
All of this does make me want to play the critically acclaimed MMORPG.
You know what I have heard?
Level 60.
It is good.
The Heaven Wants expansion.
I have heard Final Fantasy 14. Is that 14? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that it's very good. Like it started off terrible, but got good.
Every time they release like a cinematic trailer for it, I'm like, you know what? I'm
Looks
good.
good.
And then I'm like, remember,
MMO.
Online game, MMO, and I'm like, no, I
You
can't.
don't have time.
But Kate, now's the time to get into it, as not only is it free up to level 60 with the Heaven Wants expansion, all other expansions are now 50% off.
Grant's getting paid on commission. Use his code for a discount.
That's how you got the Meagle hat.
Yuffie is great for 10% off your order.
Gonna witness a murder very shortly.
Henry, Advent Children apparently being remade or like 4K'd up, whatever's happening to it. Do you think they will change it in any way?
I don't think they will.
No?
They've already done the complete version before. I think that was
the extra
enough.
Complete version.
Yeah.
This made me wonder.
Adventure? Is it like the film of
it's
Seven?
movie.
It's a sequel.
Right.
See, I was going to bring this question up because they're doing Sturge of.
They all wear edgy black outfits now.
They do, and they all look.
That's true.
Sick.
Because they're doing the Sturge of Cerberus stuff within this. Well, sooner than we thought, and all that within the gameplay. Like, do you reckon they potentially bring in Advent Children as part of the game?
It's difficult because a lot of the events. Well, I'd say it's a sequel. It's stuff which I think would be hard to establish, which they haven't already. Because you already see like the what are they called? Like the followers.
The reunion.
The reunion people.
There's elements of that involved, but being as vague as I can. But you already see it. It's like.
So are they already bringing elements of it in?
Well, the thing is, as I say, it directly follows on. So those elements you don't need to really separately establish right now.
Yeah. Because stuff has to happen. The plot of the game has to happen.
Yeah.
For like Advent Children to take place.
But what if the plot of the game is changing, like it seems to be? So it's like, does it ever happen?
There's a lot of talking. Like I know obviously you have cutscenes, but there's a lot of there's action as well. Don't get me wrong, like there's big action sequences and there's some sick fights and all that. Like in Final Fantasy, it's good, but there's a lot of talking. There's a lot of talk about feelings and there's a lot of there's a lot of epic speeches and stuff. And I think it wouldn't. I don't think they'd have to add a lot to it to bring it in.
Would you like to see it within game?
Is it worth watching?
Can we watch it?
See, I would say kind of yes, but there's one.
I would say no.
Is it the spoiler I know about, Kate? That's really hard not to know about.
Everyone knows that Aerith gets shish kebab. That's just common pop.
Someone might not.
Well, they do now.
They do now.
You do now. If you don't know, now you know.
So is it?
See, I like how we're all being cautious about spoilers, but then I'm gonna play Sephiroth in Smash Bros after this and just use my final Smash, which is the end of Final Fantasy VII. It's like, thanks.
Thanks, Smash
To be
Bros.
fair, the game has also been out for over 2 decades at this
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chris. Yeah, Chris.
So
Well,
it's a
you
bit
know,
like,
I was-
it's a bit fair game at that stage.
it was worth me waiting for the
I think
remake.
It's that awkward middle ground of like, because the remake is big and it's like new for everyone, but then everyone else is coming up just being like, well, here's what happened in the original. Happened ages ago.
It's like, thanks. To be fair, the big spoiler, I knew already. Because it's hard to, it's like one of those, like, it's like the Luke, I'm your father, Darth Vader moment of gaming. Where you,
it is
where
one of
you
the
just
biggest
know. Like,
Yeah.
it's, so
I would argue it's probably the biggest video game twist.
it's one of the
Definitely
more
most
popular
iconic.
ones. Yeah.
One
Yeah.
of the
Like
most iconic,
KOTOR,
yeah.
KOTOR's like got a really good twist. I'd say
Oh,
that's
yeah,
better
that-
than.
That's up there
That's why I
too.
say one.
That's up there
Yeah.
too, to be fair.
And then it's like Zelda as Sheik is also kind of up there, but
I don't know. Her.
spoilers if you
Yeah.
didn't
I didn't know
that.
that, but
Ocarina
Um,
Deepest Ocarina of Time lore right now.
If you hadn't played
Yeah.
Smash Bros, then
To be fair, I was going to say I
Positive,
used the main
guys.
Galdona, and she pressed down, she used to change her outfit. Is that when she turns into Sheik?
yeah.
I
yeah.
don't play Zelda. I don't play the Zeldas.
Well, you know.
I know now. Yeah, we're all exchanging spoilers here.
But I mean, does anyone else have anything they want to say about this DLC?
Not
Anything?
really. No.
It's a crime that they're charging £8 for a weapon on DLC.
Yeah, the DLC weapon, that's stupid. Yeah, I saw that.
didn't
I was
bother
like,
with
looked at it, I was like, why?
It looked cool.
Why?
I was like, I'll check it out. I was like, oh.
that. Nope.
Nope. I mean, some people were moaning that it's like for charging for the DLC at all, and I'm like, I think that's fine for what, 16 quid. Like, I got a decent amount of content out of 16 quid. To be fair,
Yeah, it just kind of feels like they could have done it for free. But
they
it's
could,
also
they could have, but yeah,
I think it's
Easy
also
money.
a bit cheeky that they gave like the remake out on PS Plus, but if you had only the PS Plus one, you didn't get the free PS5 upgrade. I thought that
yeah,
That would have been I suppose that was Square being like, if you pay us enough money, we'll put it on there, but we don't want to give away our big thing either.
Yeah.
I kind of get that.
yeah, because then people get all of it just paying 16 quid.
rewarded. Like you're getting that free upgrade. Like, you know, you paid for the base game. Here's it for free. Like, if you don't pay for the base game, why should you get the upgrade for free?
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
bit of column A, but I see. But it's like if I've got the PS5, and it's like, well, why would I now go buy the game you just gave me for free just to have it in slightly better graphics?
Yeah, Lex would have to do that if he got a PS5. He'd have to buy it again. Don't know if he'd be happy about that. But yeah, it's a complicated thing they've got to kind of just work around.
The
I guess.
DLC,
But
the Yuffie stuff should have been free.
honestly, I don't mind because I got a decent amount of content out of it.
Yeah, I can see both ways. I feel like it maybe should have been, but then I feel like they maybe would have charged for the whole package. Then I mean, like, well, you get Yuffie for free, but you pay in for an upgrade. And they've done it for less.
I think you get the Yuffie DLC for free if you've just outright bought.
Yeah, if you buy the PS5 version, yeah.
But if you haven't, then I can see why they would also charge for it separately. Because at the end of the day, they are a business. We have to remember that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes business sense. I mean, people will buy it. We did, so.
Yeah, that way they're still making money and you get a free upgrade for the rest of it. So
yeah,
I will be interested to see how it works with moving into part 2 because I don't remember what level my party finished at and what level my
will they do?
They're gonna
the typical
sync up like that with the cross save between part 1.
Will they do a typical video game thing where they like put you back to level 0, but you've still got all the stuff? But
yeah, which makes sense because obviously the level cap in Remake is 50, and so if they made it then 100 then to part 2, which isn't going to be the rest of the game unless it is Square.
No way.
Or do they make 50 the new 0 and just go from there?
Yeah, and it's like, do I have to go back and fight? Not Baphomet, but I can never remember his name. It's similar to Baphomet, the dragon.
Yeah, I know you mean. Yeah. Would you have to get all the summons again and stuff? It's like, does it know what summons you got? Are you going to start the summons?
Yeah.
It's the only way. I'll just have to wait and find out because who knows? It's Square. You never know, do you?
I reckon they'll carry on just because of the nature of it. But yeah, it's not like they're doing like a whole other storyline. It wouldn't make sense to me if they didn't have some.
the next part, if it is like the old one, it's quite open world.
Yeah, I reckon the gameplay's going to be
So you could,
relatively
if you
different
wanted
anyway.
to,
Chocobos.
you could grind. Chocobo
Yeah.
Bill, get in a little cameo. Or Chocobo Bill,
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
his name is.
Chocobo Bill.
That's funny. I mean, shove the blokes in the back of the car with the chocobos.
Wouldn't you
Bill
want to be in
knows
the
what
back
he's
with the
about.
chocobos?
I would, to be fair. I love chocobos.
Barrett's like
I love them too.
the size of Aerith and Tifa standing next to each other. Of course he's not going to be in the seat.
True, this is
He's also
true.
got a gun for enough.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust him. He had a gun for an
I'm
arm.
kind of sad we didn't get to see the Turks because they're my favourite part, and I was hoping we'd get a little bit of cheeky Turk as a treat.
That, well,
It would be
they'll be
good
in
if
the next one.
More integrated. So like when you're playing through, like I guess if you once you do the Sector 5 thing, if it then maybe cut to Yuffie Chapter 1, and then you did.
Oh, so when you
stuff.
play
So,
like the that's a good idea. To be fair,
So
I
when
suppose
you're
you could
playing
do
the
that
main game,
yourself.
it like puts Yuffie in normally.
Mm.
So I'd put it
You
like,
could
so
do that yourself though if you wanted to. Like you could
but I feel like
dash, load,
they should
play a little
do
bit.
it.
Well, oh, right. I see what you mean. Like, make it so it plays throughout the
Yeah,
main.
so
Yeah.
I definitely put so when Cloud falls off, you don't see where he lands. You start as Yuffie and then
Yeah, it'd be interesting if they could do that.
because then you see
I mean,
Tifa being like, "I'm gonna go talk to
Yeah.
Kaneo's men," and then you can cut back to Yuffie after. I guess after like when they land from the plate explosion, I'd then cut to Yuffie Chapter 2 then to be like, here's what Yuffie sees, and then you cut back to them in the weird secret facility thing.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose you could do that yourself, maybe.
Yeah, but I think it'd be
You
nice.
could.
It would be nice to do it. Yeah, it would be. But it would be nice to kind of.
That's how I would do it. Square
Yeah.
away.
It's got the hat, guys. But yeah, is that everything everyone wants to bring up?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was sad when she took her poncho off.
I hated the thing, but then I didn't like her outfit, so put it back on.
And she didn't Naruto run. I thought she would Naruto run.
She did look like a. She does look like that type of those characters. She does. She does look like that type.
The main criticism of it, though, like Henry said, like there was so much repetitive gameplay. Like there was so much like, do this like 3 times, do this like 5 times.
Yeah.
That was like, I thought it got quite boring.
Yeah.
Just felt stretched out. Yeah.
I think overall story great. Characters, depending on who you like, mostly like up to the at least even if you don't like them as a character, they're up to the level of like character development as the others.
Yeah, they're well developed.
Yeah.
So when Yuffie comes in, you'll be like, she's at that.
I know who
same
she
level
is.
as the
Yeah.
others,
Yeah.
assuming you played it.
Yeah. And I just gameplay, like, some repetitive bits, some side bits feeling a bit meh, but overall decent length, decent experience. I'm happy I played it. So
yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah, man.
Just leaves you wanting more, leaves you wanting the next part.
Yeah, it does even more than it. It's like, give that little
I'd
tease.
give it
I'm like,
a 7 Intergrade remake out of 10.
Get out. Get out now.
Yeah. But we'll end it there.
All right.
Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe if you like that video, and let us know what you think of Yuffie and whether you like, if you're in Kate's camp and you hate her, or whether you're in Grant's camp and you love her.
No, I'm not trying to start no camps. I don't want to argue.
It's too late.
Personal opinion.
Join me in the ascended neutral ground.
Legit.
Comment below where Yuffie stands in your best girl standing.
But yeah, we'll see you next time.
Tifa's best girl. That's it. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
If you like that video, guys, don't forget to leave a like and hit that bell for notifications when we go live or post another video. If you want to see more videos like this, then check out this playlist somewhere around here. And if you would like to subscribe to us, then check out this sexy subscribe button right here. Look how enticing it is. You know you want to click it. And if you're already subscribed, you are an awesome human being.